sometimes they can make them drag out, so it could be like a really long thing, and sometimes it could be like really quick. And so then your job is to take what's been given to you, sometimes make it make perfect sense, sometimes flip it on its head, but you essentially have a relationship with this inanimate object or animal, and then you are you're the one essentially driving the whole scene. But if you're listening, the other actor is going to be giving you a lot non-verbally, and then you're kind of responding to that. Does this make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Bragak, would you mind doing an example with me?
Yep.
Thank you. Actually, and you know what the best example of this, we don't even need Brian for this. The best example for interpreter in a movie that you all have probably seen, love, and took very seriously is Star Wars R2-D2.
Yeah.
All the characters just play interpreter. So the robot comes in, is a boop, 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 and then the character looks at him and goes, "You're right, let's go." And they just like, they know what he says, and you just believe it. Same thing with Chewbacca. Chewbacca is completely interpreter. Han Solo is just interpreting what Chewbacca is saying, and we just believe that there's another language that they know and we don't. And whatever Han Solo says, Chewbacca just said, we believe that that's the thing. So that is interpreter. So those are your two moves that you could make when it comes to being an inanimate object or an animal, which I think are both good choices. I want you to think about your long-form improv in this way. Think about it like a chess game. So you have all these pieces, and even imagine like that there were like each one of the pawns were a different piece. You have all these moves at your disposal. You can go in different directions and make all these different choices. Some of them will work out better for you than others, but understand that there's always a move to be made of some kind, and you're looking for what's the best move to get us closer to game. What's the best move to keep us in game? So the first one we talked about today was interpreter. The second one I want to talk about for today is how do you insert game when there isn't game? And this is something that I struggled with a lot as an early improviser because I had director experience. So that made me a very controlling improviser, which is not a very good thing to be. I wanted to know the outcome, and so I would try to steer the ship in a certain way, and that's just, there's no way around it. That's just bad improv. And so to get over that thing, it actually took a workshop in New York that I was taking when we were performing out there for this big international festival thing. And there was this one actor that I loved watching him on the stage. He was like the best improviser. As a matter of fact, he's now on like different shows. I see his face all the time, but he was just so good, and I'm like, I love this guy. What does he know that I don't know? So I took his workshop, and he taught us this thing, and he said, whenever I feel comfortable in a scene, whenever I feel like things are going well and we know where it's going to go, I throw in a crazy curveball that we have to deal with as a team. And I realized that when I was younger and first starting out, I hated it when people did that, because I'm like, why would you like ruin? You're not listening. You ruin the scene. But what they're doing is they're just inserting a weird of some kind, and then you have a choice of what you're going to do with it. So can I have? Let me try to remember a scene or scenario or relationship from last week. Did anybody remember one from last week?
Me and Kylie, we were friends, and she had feelings for me.
You and Kylie were friends, and what?
She had feelings for me.
She had feelings for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't have feelings for her.
We didn't get to that yet.
Okay, so she's got feelings for you. So let's just say you're just having a normal guy-girl talk, and she's flirting, and you're flirting back, and we're trying to figure it out, and it's a really good base relationship, and it's funny, it's engaging, whatever. But it feels safe. We get to a place where it's like, hey, I kind of feel like I know what's going to happen next. You could throw something in, like, and he's like, he might be like, hey, so, take you for coffee tomorrow? You know, would that, you want me to pick you up? And she could say, actually, I'll just put on my super suit. I'll meet you down there. And he's like, your super suit? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I'm a superhero. I thought you knew that. No, I didn't. And now we're dealing with this thing. So when she says super suit, she's going to put on her super suit. Her scene partner has two options. One is to question. So when you notice the weird, that's the game. One of the things you can do is question the weird. So that's what I just did, where he's like, "What are you super suit? You're gonna do that? Okay." And then the other option is going to be to just treat it as if it's super normal. And now you're in the same boat with your scene partner. So a good example of this is if you've ever seen Tommy Boy, that is going to be a Chris Farley and David Spade type relationship. Two very polar opposite human beings. One's ginormous and big and loud. The other one's super small and skinny and, kind of squeaky sounding. And David Spade in that movie would always play the grounded character, sort of questioning Tommy Boy's just ridiculousness. The opposite of that, getting in the same boat, would be a movie like Dumb and Dumber, where the two actors, they both share the same perspective on the world. So the way the other actor would then respond to the super suit would be, she'd say, "Oh, I'll just put on my super suit," and he's like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we get there faster." So, actually, if we go to Java, they've actually got free parking for supers. And she's like, "Really?" And you're like, "Yeah, there's something they started, whatever since COVID because whatever, So anyway, so he just goes down the same path and he's like, "Yeah, I'm in this with you." The key here is don't panic. So if somebody, and again, this is what I used to do, so I'm just throwing this out there. When I would hear that new piece of information, I would go, "Ugh," and I would get all frantic-y. Instead, breathe, relax, and then think, what's best move right now? What's my next best chess move? And then try to find which direction you want to go with that thing. Next thing I want to talk to you about is tapping, because we sort of figured out last night how to tap via virtual. That's kind of fun. So what you'll do is be listening as a group and be paying really, really good attention to what's going on in the scene. And then if let's say there's two characters in and you want to play with one of the characters and tap the other one out, you would just put on your video and you'd say, "Joanne out," or "Joanne tap," or something like that. And then they would be out. So they would just turn off their video and then you're in the scene at that moment. If they haven't been named, then you should just use the actor's name and just say, I see Connor in the top left of my screen. So I'd say, "Connor, tap out." And then she'd just tap out, I'd tap in. And that just means I want to play with the character, the other character. Now I want you to be aware, if I'm in Connor's shoes, that this is a move that I just made. The move is, I've decided in a short form type world to play a game where I develop this one character. I want to know how this character reacts or what they might say either earlier or later or something like that. But Connor's responsibility is to be listening actively for when her character should come back. Because generally speaking, that game is just a quick, I want to add a piece of information, but I'm not asking to take over the scene. So I'm literally offering you a gift, but I'm not saying, "Hey, you're out for good, you can disengage." I'm just saying, "Hey, let me help you add a new piece of information," and then I'm hoping that you pull me back out as soon as you know what the new piece of information is, and now you're going to move forward with it. Usually, the Connor character who's been tapped out and then comes back in doesn't know what we just talked about. So let's just say that the two of them were talking and flirting and this and that, and I tap out Connor, and then I come in and I establish that you're my brother and we're both serial killers, And I'm like, so how's it going? He's like, dude, I think I'm going to meet a girl at the Java Hut, whatever. And it's like, cool. So then Connor taps back in. Connor shouldn't know that information. The actor would know, but the character wouldn't. So the audience knows something now that the character doesn't, which can be fun for us to experience that. Okay, that's sort of like what you would call that would be a show me that type move. So and there's all kinds of ways to do show me that. You can tap in, tap out. You can actually come on and say show me whatever, like a director, and then you may be in the scene or not be in the scene as the director person or whatever. The only thing to be aware of is if that person comes in and says, show me this character here, then obviously you have to stay in the scene because they told you, hey, I want to see this very specific thing because I think there's game there for you to play. There's a little game move that we're going to do. All right, I have one last thing I want to talk about, and that is just the idea of game in general. So usually when we find game, we want to explore it. So we might do a rule of 3 on the game, okay? So what I was talking about last night, the example I used was 2 actors sitting at McDonald's, and they're having a mother-daughter relationship. And then one of them says something sort of like the weird, and then it expands out. So the weird I said last night was they're having a very serious conversation. Mom wants daughter to be a doctor. And daughter's like, I don't want to be a doctor, and they're having one of those conversations. It's kind of funny, but it's just a good base reality scene. Mom's getting frustrated, and she's finally just like, you know what? Just pass me the frog legs, will you? That's weird. Okay, so now this began the game. The game is weird food. So now we're going to heighten that. So what's weirder than frog legs at a McDonald's? Somebody. Oh, I guess you have to raise your hand because Brian's got you all muted.
I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't? They all just muted themselves. Oh, good for you guys. Well, this is different than the kids' class.
Yeah, it's way different.
Well, we got a lot of polite people. All right, so unmute yourself if you have an idea for something that is more weird, a weirder food than frog legs at a McDonald's. And
fried cobra skin.
What was that? Say it again.
Fried cobra skin.
Fried cobra skin. And that is perfect because I would call that about one step up, but not all the way to, say, dead body. Because we know we're going to have to heighten that next move to something else. And if I go too far, too fast, even if I already have the idea, skip on that idea, let somebody else have it, and sort of spoon feed them that idea so that your team has somewhere to go. All right, so then let's say we've exercised that game, and it took us a while in the scene to get to the rule of 3. So now the game's been exercised. The scene is still going on because we're not trying to solve the puzzle. We don't want mom and daughter to necessarily come to a resolution here. So the scene is still going, but that part of the game is over. Now we want to understand that there's a bigger game at play. So all we've done is we said, okay, there's weird food at this McDonald's. Great. But actually, what else is true? If there's weird food at the McDonald's, are there weird employees? Yes. And now we can go explore that game. Is the drive-thru really weird? It totally is. So we should explore that game. Are the seats weird? Is the environment weird, etc.? So now it's like, okay, it went from just being weird food to being this is a weird McDonald's. Like McDonald's in general is a weird restaurant or whatever. And so now you've expanded the same game and you get to sort of play it in different directions. And this whole scene can be almost never ending as long as you figure out how to keep playing game but not the exact same part of that game. And that's something that it takes time for a seasoned improviser to figure out what that looks like. Because what you're going to want to do, what you're going to be tempted to do, is to solve the puzzle and end the scene and resolve the relationship and, come to some sort of a conclusion or move the plot forward. But plot is our enemy in improv because once we have a really sustainable plot and we know exactly what's going to happen, it becomes predictable and then it becomes boring. The whole thing that's amazing about improvisation is the fact that it's improv, the fact that you're making it up as you go along and there's going to be some sort of a curveball coming at you. That's the magic of improv in general. and we want to live in that state as an improviser. We want to seek it out, and we want to be excited that we're there. Cool. So any questions on this stuff?
Can I throw something out first?
Yeah, throw it out.
So if you were not here last week, I just want to explain really quick when you go in and out of scenes what that's going to look like. Just take 2 seconds. On the Zoom, you're going to go ahead and just hit stop video, and that will take your video away. So I'll just like give an example. Boom, I click that, and then I disappear. So if you don't mute yourself also, then you will be heard. So if you laugh at something in a scene, just realize that. And you can mute it if you're quick to those things. Otherwise, just be quiet when you're out of the scene, and then you pop right back in when you want to start a scene. So that's basically how that works. That's how you come in and out of scenes as if you came onto the stage in this format if you weren't here with us last week.
Yeah, and it's super fun. Like this,
So fun.
It's really, really fun to be sort of your own cameraman and editor and stuff. All right, any questions on the ideas I threw at you earlier? Okay, let's review. Number 1. Somebody.
Interpreter.
Great. Yep. We're gonna either talk as the inanimate object or animal, or talk for the inanimate object or animal. Number 2.
Insert game.
Yes, insert the game. So when things are going great and everyone knows what's going to happen and it's all rosy, in a very serious way, and honestly, don't try to do it to be funny. Don't try to get a laugh. That's not the idea. You're trying to insert game to help the scene. So I could say, hey, pass the frog legs, and I might get a little giggle there, but it's not that funny. But as we play it real or weird, we get to build on the funny, and the more weird we find, by the time we get to the third one, it's very funny. But I'm not doing it to be funny. I'm not doing it to get a laugh. I'm doing it to help the scene because it's one of my chess moves that I have available to me. All right, very good. Next.
Tapping.
Tapping, yes, good. So that's the idea of you can do a show me that. You don't have to say show me that. You can just cut right to it, but it's a way that you can edit from within the scenes. And then lastly,
Question the
Don't
weird.
solve the puzzle.
yeah, question the weird, add to the weird, find how we can expand upon the same game without getting out of it. Because once we do, we have to go through the trouble of finding our next game, and it's not always that easy. So don't make it harder than it has to be. All right, very good. So tonight, what we're gonna do is we are going to let the fates decide what room you are in. We're gonna split you. Are we doing 3 groups, Bri?
Yep, 3 groups of 5 should work.
So we're going to split into 3 groups, and we're going to assign a form of improv to you. It's going to be the play format that we like to use here. So in the play format, it is you're going to have a protagonist, antagonist, maybe an ingenue. You have some sort of
Maybe a what?
the love interest.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool. Never heard that word.
And then you'll have the idea that there's probably going to be some sort of a moral to the story. That kind of thing, or you leave them on a cliffhanger or whatever that is. And so everyone's going to do the play format. Now, what's cool about the play format is we can do it in a lot of different directions, and so that's what we're going to decide in our individual groups. You're going to decide based on who you're paired with, what's special about you guys that you could add to it to add some sort of a constraint or something. So, for instance, Brian and I do the play format, and we do our show Boondocks, where we have to have an Irish accent. Okay,
Aye.
so that's like it's just a play, but we've added that little constraint on top of it, which makes it more fun.
What's special about you guys?
So we can add anything. One of the ones that's common is you might say a particular location, like we can only be in one non-geographical location the entire play. That's an interesting thing. All right, and I agree with everything I'm saying after I say it because I can hear me.
I just muted whoever it was, so it's not happening now.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're about to split you up into different rooms, and we're gonna come up with our unique take on the play format. Then Brian and I are gonna go around and we're gonna sort of start, stop, coach you for, let's say, about 25 minutes or so, and then we're going to come back together, we're going to perform for each other, and do little mini shows, and you'll get notes at the end of that.
And don't forget at the beginning, too, to come up with a little troop name as well and sort of select that leader. So make sure that you do that at the top. Like, what's our troop name going to be and who's going to come out and get the suggestion and guide it and treat it like a show. So even though it's virtual, we've had a lot of like, all right, let's get a word, guys. So like, friggin' let's start or whatever. Like, so like, treat it like a show. Come in with energy and seek the suggestion. Engage with either us or whether we pull somebody in, and then start the show with energy and with the right positive mindset so that your show starts off really strong.
And I'm also going to encourage you, if you're somebody who always is the person who leads, maybe take a step back.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who talks a lot and is always, in the scene, star of the show, maybe take a step back and let somebody else open the show and lead. And if you're somebody who's usually quiet and sits on the sideline, maybe volunteer and step up and face that fear. Just be the one to initiate a show because it's a lot of fun, and I guarantee you'll grow from it as well.
All righty.
All right, here we go.
The fates have decided. We shall see where you end up.
Here we go. Good luck, everybody.
Play a different character.
Good speed.
What's that? What's that, Truman?
Can everybody play more than one character?
You can, but I want to caution you there. So ideally, everybody's on the stage already, like everybody's been in, and then you need to bring in another character. That's number one. Number two, you really have to differentiate yourself from your other character, because otherwise, like, I know what Truman looks like. I've seen you before. As soon as I see your face, I assume you're the character I already know that you were.
Okay.
Like right now, I'm like, you're the guy that yawns right in the middle of class when you just asked me a question.
Yeah.
Like, you're that guy.
And that's contagious, so stop it.
No, but you know what I'm saying? So you could be yawny guy. Then when you come in next time, you better be like, yeah, hey, it's me, and then you're a totally different character and establish that. The other thing is, for everybody, remember, name each other. Give specific names, and don't just throw it out there like too quickly. Look at the other person. Who are they? What's their energy right now in this scene? And name them, gift them with a name that's really empowering for the scene. Okay, now we will let the fates decide.
The fates have decided!
Goodbye.
It might pop us into one of the rooms, in which case we'll jump right out. Hey, no, it popped Shay into one.
Let's pop her out.
I can't.
Oh.
I don't know why it doesn't let you move them to a lobby.
Of course not. I'm going to go let her know she's in there then.
We are live.
Wait, we're live?
We're live right now.
What do you mean?
I mean,
Like, we're alive?
we are alive and live on YouTube as well.
We're live on YouTube.
Where am I playing from? Oh, is this how the students feel when it plays in the background? Cool.
But it has to be sticks with an X. It can't be sticks with a CK.
Always
Totally
sticks with
agree.
an X. You gotta have sticks with an X. There's no other way to spell sticks.
Hey.
No other way to spell sticks.
Did you find your twist? Did you understand the direction?
We understood.
We
the directions,
understand.
but we haven't found our twist yet.
Okay.
We came up with the group name and we picked our leader.
Okay. So, you want us to come back?
We shall come back.
We will come back.
come
Think about it really quick, and then have something to pitch to us in like the next 3 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Farewell.
Bum,
Ba, 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 ba. Can you make the sounds?
I don't
of
know.
Star Wars
I actually
without
don't
getting
know.
Sued?
I'm not sure.
Interesting. This is really interesting.
I mean, is it worth? It's not. I mean, is it worth it to actually just get a copyright on this video?
I mean,
Bum.
and then you stop under 5 seconds. You're good if you
No,
stop.
but let's
under...
do it bum 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 bum.
Hey guys,
Hey.
he's doing some Star Wars songs here. No big deal.
Weird. I didn't know we were there. Hey, so did we come up with a twist? Do you understand the direction?
I think we got our
Mute your
twist.
mother, please.
So did we come up with a twist? Do you understand?
I don't know that I can in here.
Vicky, you need to mute yourself.
Yes, okay, let me find it.
She's muted.
Ah, the sweet sound of silence.
Should I just
yeah.
mute it? Like,
I did.
No,
Yeah.
no.
she unmuted herself. I'll mute you. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Okay, he told me to mute me, and I did.
It's a rebellion.
Ah.
There we go. Mom, if I muted you in real life, would you get mad?
All right. Did you come up with your twist? Like what's gonna make your show original? What is it?
Astrid, do you want to explain your idea?
Yeah, sure. So our name is going to be 2 girls and 3 guys. So obviously,
Great
as you
name.
can see, we're really 3 girls and 2 guys. So that means that the girls are really going to play male characters, and then the men are going to play female characters.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh my gosh.
All right. We will be back to side coach. You
See you
move
soon.
forward with rehearsal. And Vicky, you need to figure out how to mute the live video, not the Zoom. Mute the live video so people don't hear the live video in the background, because otherwise they're going to hear your voice, and Astrid's going to have a hard time coming up with more really good ideas like that. We'll be back.
We shall be back.
Orat.
So is the live video is my phone. That's
Yeah, let them. Bam, bam, bam. No, we should do the other one now.
Okay, what's the other one? Oh,
The bad guys. The
dun, 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 dun.
oh no, that's it. Dun 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 dun. Bam 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 bam. Bam 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 bam. Hello.
Hey, I am your father.
Did you figure out your twist? Did you understand the direction?
We're kind of like bouncing around on ideas.
Okay, what's the
We're
bet?
just talking about like we all have to be vampires.
Okay.
All right.
Are we all
Like the
sold on this
Vampire
idea?
Diaries?
Yeah, like something like that. We weren't sure. That's just what we just came up with right now. But
Cool. I got Sergey to laugh, so that's good.
All right, so that can be it. If you guys want to do a vampire story, the only thing I would say, my recommendation, when you pick a genre like that, because that's just going to be genre, make sure everybody is well versed in vampire stuff.
yeah.
So, like, for instance, I wouldn't be great in that show because I don't know too much about it, but I could play the straight man pretty easily. But I wouldn't, you could say something and I wouldn't know that that's a vampire thing. So,
And I would.
and
I'd
Brian,
be all about it.
Brian would, yeah.
Well, what are like other examples that people are doing, because I guess we just weren't too sure.
We did like opposite genders for.
So we could like steal
talking
their
about like
ideas,
restrictions and stuff.
Somebody's doing opposite genders, actually.
So sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, taken.
Yeah, and we already talked about how brilliant it was.
So the guys are playing girls, the girls are playing guys
Yeah.
in the show.
Guys, come on! I said that right off the bat.
Taken,
Well,
taken.
now.
You did.
So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that was one idea.
But vampires is great, guys. It's
No,
awesome.
it's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure everyone feels good about it. As long as you all feel good, and then you can even talk about it a little bit. You can talk about vampire culture, but you should know your genre. That's all. So in other words, I'm not going to play like a Jane Austen type play where it's like Middle England, and I've never read a Jane Austen novel. That would be stupid. Because I walk in, I have a barely a British accent, and then I have nothing to contribute.
And we literally wanted to do that once. We wanted to do a British one, and Matt was like, we don't know the accents well enough and the culture well enough to do it. So yeah.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do James Bond theme, cool. You better know who James Bond is and like just things that go along with that genre. So all right, you can be vampires,
lot
do your
about James
thing.
Bond.
Is that what we pick? Is that solidified? Seve?
I like it.
You love it? Do you like it or do you love it?
I'm in that boat where I don't know much about it.
Thanks,
think I've
Seve.
seen
I
all of,
appreciate
like-
that, Seve. Thank you.
Ooh. called out.
Seve, do you love it or do you like it? He just likes it.
I
He
like
just
it.
likes it.
I want to talk more about it because that's how I get more excited about stuff. Is when I hear more about
We
it.
didn't even like decide on
Yeah.
like the last thing
It
we
was just,
talked
like-
about. It was just kind of like a random.
Cool.
And it was an
Wanna
option.
come
we
back?
were
So
brainstorming.
the other thing you can do is sometimes I'll do this. I'll go, hey, this is the idea on the table. We've got 10 seconds for somebody to beat the idea. You throw out a couple ideas, and it's like, okay, maybe we had 3. Then we're like, all right, we're all going to vote. But make sure you're not wasting a ton of time on figuring out your idea. So give yourselves about 1 to 2 more minutes. Somebody take control of this thing. And rifle out a couple more ideas, and then everyone just get really like which one excites the group the most, that feels like our group, and then go from there.
Right.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
Matt, can
Yeah.
you quickly clarify like the play, like the whole thing that we're doing? Because I guess we were all just kind of confused on what you meant.
So the play, it's like a movie, a play, same idea. So think about how a play begins. There's all sorts of ways plays begin. Sometimes the playwright will write a bunch of exposition, which means that they're going to write exactly the setting and the scenario and the smells and whatever. And so somebody could come out and just be that. They could say it's the time period was 1980, and they could just go through a whole like exposition of what's going on. That could be the way you open. Sometimes plays open with a monologue. Sometimes plays open right in the middle of the action, like boo, 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 boo. Sometimes plays, and the same thing with movies, right? Movies are the same way. So sometimes a movie is slow and just shows you like scenery, and then it's kind of setting up the scene. Sometimes it's right, like you just like the movie opens and someone's shot, like that. That could be the beginning of your play. Like literally, that'd be a great play. The play begins and it's like. Poof,
It's usually me that gets shot. Right
totally,
off the bat,
and it's
guaranteed.
black. But then what's cool is then the whole movie becomes how did we get to that place, right? So that's a way to go. Sometimes a character walks out, delivers a monologue to the audience, and then walks into the scene. So just think about all the ways that movies and plays begin, and then you get yourself going. Think about, so you're going to have vampire, so think about vampire movies and vampire stories and whatnot. How do they usually begin? What are the things that usually happen, right? There's usually somebody who's not a vampire and they're going to become a vampire, and there's going to be things that are probably going to happen in your scene. The key here is how do you make it so that it's improv, so you're not just repeating one of the movies you've seen. So that's where you want to be creative with your get to make sure that you give yourself something that's difficult, that you have to create this world that lives there. So let's talk about a game revolving around vampires. I literally just saw one today. I can't remember the Adam Sandler's cartoon thing.
8 Crazy Nights?
No, like Transylvania or something. Like he's a.
Oh yeah, Transylvania.
Oh, yeah.
This was like Transylvania 3 or something. They were on like a cruise ship. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
So
good.
so
Yeah,
the idea here is like they're vampires, but they created a world where a vampire owned a hotel. So that's the game, is like, okay, vampires are like, they live here, they're very normal, they have a whole society, and they have feelings and all this stuff. That was their game, and they just played the game. That's the movie. So you're going to think, okay, what do I know about vampires? How do I get something from the audience that's going to put us in something that a vampire wouldn't normally be in, and then we create the vampire culture there.
Right.
Okay, and then you're going to have like you'll have rising action that happens, like, you know, it's getting more intense, and then there's going to be a conflict, you know, some kind of a head-to-head deal. There's usually a love interest. There's usually, you know, a side character that dies or we don't care about or whatever, and then, you know, we're all sad for a second, and then there's a resolution, and we get to the end, and, you know, and that's a movie, that's a play. So you're just thinking about storyline like that. That's the general plot, but don't worry so much about plot. Just worry about how do we get to game quickly and trust that the plot's going to take care of itself.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
There was another one.
There's got to be another song.
No, I think Joey thought of it. It's the one where and I won't know this one. Joey would know it, but it's the one where they always play it before the like when they go to the bar in Star Wars movies, and there's all the weird characters. Yeah, that's it.
Family Guy did such a funny thing on that.
Hello, did we come up with our twist?
Yes.
Yes.
Truman looks exhausted. Oh yeah, he always does. Okay.
Oh, snap.
I'm fine, okay?
Okay, well, prove it when you stop yelling.
All right, here we go. What is it? What's the twist?
Okay, so it's going to be sort of an online dating type thing where I'm the guy and then the girls are cycling through.
Perfect, like a bachelor type deal.
That thing where they're each coming up, and then we're going to ask the audience. We're going to ask them, give us a personality trait you hated about one of your exes. So then each of these girls will play the personality trait of that person's ex, and then I'm just gonna be the straight man, so then I can be the grounded while everyone else is being crazy, but then I can also jump on and stuff like that.
So you can totally do this, actually, but this is not the direction that we gave. So the direction was for you to do an improvised play, but put some sort of a twist on it, like you have to, like this has to be in your play. So for instance, one of the groups said, all the guys play girls, all the girls play guys. That's our form. Another one was like, we are vampires. So no matter what you give us, we're going to be vampires, and then we're going to do a play. So I don't know how this fits into the play format. So the question is, do you want to do a play format, or do you want to do this? Because I don't want to spend too much time on idea generation. I want to dive into rehearsal now.
We could turn it into also showing me preparing and the girls preparing for the beforehand.
Yeah, so with the play, you don't want to script it out too much.
Yeah.
You know, so you just want to put on some sort of a twist of some kind that's going to be like a guarantee. So it could just be whatever you get, it doesn't matter, but your play is going to be a romantic comedy. It's going to be something revolving around dating and the dating scene or whatever, you know. And then if you stumble across this idea where you do a bachelor show, cool, but it doesn't, like, it wouldn't have to be that necessarily.
Right. So it would need a topic around it, like where, like you were saying, like it's a dating show, but we're vampires. It's a dating show, but we're doctors. Like
no. If you do the dating show, like the dating show is its own thing. But what I'm saying is your form revolved around the play could just be, no matter what we get, we're going to turn it into a romantic comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then in that case, what I would probably ask for from the audience would be something that would put me in a position where you wouldn't normally think of this as a romantic comedy.
Like, what's the least romantic thing you guys can think of?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like a terribly unromantic location, or you know, something that really grosses you out. You know, anything like that, and you get that suggestion, and then you're like, okay, we're gonna take what is normally not considered romantic or funny, and we're gonna make that normal and real.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like that idea.
Okay,
Same.
romantic comedy. We'll be back, and we will tap into your
Thanks, guys.
rehearsals here in a
I'll be
minute.
back.
Thanks.
I think we're out of Star Wars songs, bro.
I know. I thought about looking it up. I know there's more. I mean, definitely in the new one, there's definitely some new, like, little interludes, I think. But that one, they're like, bum, 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 bum,
Yeah, that's a
Family
good one.
Guy, it was so funny. In the middle, they go like, play. They're like the band guys. They're like, anybody got any requests? Play that same song. They do it again.
That's funny.
So maybe, I don't know. Na 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 na. I don't know the words. I don't know the words there. Hello.
Oh my God, I guess it's fine. I just think
listen.
that they're trying a little too hard.
Well, you know,
I wish they would see this. I'm starving to death right now.
this place has different waiters. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there hasn't been one waiter who came by yet, so I guess they don't care about us too much. Under the sea, more like under tipped, because they're not even caring about us.
All right, now settle down, Taylor, settle down. You know, keep your cool like me. They're gonna come around when they come around.
They're gonna offer us drinks or something at least. I can't believe this.
Well, you know.
All right, good. Good. I'm gonna.
Hello,
Brian and I are gonna
I said
intercede
this
here real
way.
quick. Hello, everybody. We're interrupting your rehearsal. So let me ask you, what was going on? What was the setting here? What was working and wasn't working?
So the setting was an under the sea restaurant.
Perfect.
And yeah, so basically we were just setting what we wanted it to be. We didn't know where to take it at the beginning. Then we kind of found our way that I was eating with Victor. And then Connor came in, and Connor was going to be our waiter for the day.
Where is Connor?
Well, Corinne, but she's.
Oh,
I was like, Connor, where's Connor?
We got some new names, man. We got
Got
some
it.
new names.
all right, good. So one of the things I noticed off the top was, first of all, be careful, Tyler. If you're at it, depending on where you're at, but if you're sitting at a table, hold still.
Okay.
Right. So we want to try to play that the best we can as far as us believing the location. Thank you, Joey. Make sure that we are not talking over each other. And because you're playing guys playing girls and girls playing guys, I would play this, I do this always, but play them to the top of your intelligence. So you don't need to go all really crazy or wild or whatever. You can just be what you think a female would react like, and then you'll run out of what you know, and that becomes funny. But you don't have to go crazy town with this, because it's already jarring seeing you in the mink. Tyler.
Yeah.
So it's already fun. Like, that's already a fun thing.
It's kind of scary to me that he had a mink. I'm just saying.
What's so scary about that? I have 4.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I got like 6.
Okay, good. That's the one thing. And then the other thing is be careful of being argumentative. Vicky, I saw you being argumentative, going back and forth. So you remember, we don't need to win. Let things go. And Vicky, especially for you, because we talked about this in a previous class, let there be silence. Because if you talk too much, other people don't get to join the scene. So sometimes you can just listen. And so, like, there was something about drinks that just happened, right? And it was like, they're gonna come when they're gonna come, or whatever. And the girl's like, when is the waiter gonna come? And you could just be like, I don't know, baby. I guess we'll just sit here and wait. Done. And just don't say anything else, and just kind of wait for the next thing to happen. So, those are my couple notes I have: is talk less, listen more, less confrontation, because like fight scenes are usually not that much fun. It doesn't get us into game. It just gets us into who's going to win or lose this argument. Okay?
And Astrid, cool. I don't even recognize you, so awesome. That's hilarious. I was like,
that's Astrid?
I couldn't even see in the corner. I was like, I had to like for a second, I was like, that is what? That's awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so these are your notes. So we're just sort of bouncing in. So now go ahead, and you're going to get about, I don't know, probably about 6 or 7 minutes to do one more rehearsal. and then we're gonna bring everybody back together and perform for each other. So you get more time than everyone actually, because you're the first one we've popped into.
Perfect.
Cool. Bye.
Someone's got to mute their.
Mute your lies.
All right, so
We are loud. What's this? Because
I'm doing crazy eyes, bro.
Oh, let me do. It's my vampire.
That's your vampire?
I mean,
what? Oh, just that's the one moment. But they don't
only
keep doing
once.
it.
No, once. It just happens once. Huh. But let's both do that.
No, but a vampire is because like
right. The vampire is.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Are you rehearsing right now?
No.
We're like planning everything out. Like.
Okay, you need to rehearse. We're in rehearsal mode, so we're gonna pop our face
okay.
off. We're gonna listen to your rehearsal and go. We're gonna give you a couple side note coaching moments.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
So everyone, turn your video off. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Roots and Company's show. Can I please get a name of a casino that does not exist?
Barry Manilow Casino.
Barry Manilow Casino, bro. That is the name of our casino, and welcome to our show. So this is Barry Manilow's casino, bro. In 2020, we are here with this family of vampires. They run the casino here in Withersford, and they have had some problems recently at their casino. This family has had a lot of drama going on between the members and who has shown up at the casino.
Oh, they can't hear us either.
Okay. Just another day at the casino. Barry Manilow's casino, bro. Oh, that sounds too mean. You got to be a nice door greeter.
Dad,
Barry Man.
I was gonna ask you if maybe tonight at like 12 a.m. can I skip the casino and maybe go hang out with some vamp friends?
Please, Dad, please.
Barry, Margaret, what are you talking about? You gotta help around the casino. You know we're short-staffed.
But we're teenagers.
We don't get to go out during the day. You know this. We want to go out and have fun.
Well, you can have fun at the casino.
We don't want to work all the time.
We're not even allowed in the main part of the building.
You're not allowed. Well, that's because you guys are on.
All right, good. So let's all come back in here. I'll give you a couple notes here, and then you'll get a few minutes to rehearse some more. So first and foremost, attack that intro.
Yeah,
Isabel.
We didn't establish whether I would stay and say the exposition.
Well, no, obviously not. But what you did, I just want you to notice this, and you can watch this back on the live. You came on and you told the audience, I'm not supposed to be the one that has to do this.
Yeah,
so you basically called out your teammates for slacking off. Yeah. So if you decide to grab the stage, you grab the stage with confidence. Yeah. Otherwise, don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's first thing. Second thing is, I don't know if your get is going to be strong enough right now. I want you to be really clear with, well, first of all, you didn't mention that you're a vampire show. Okay, so I would mention that in the intro so that the audience knows what your thing is. Then you ask for something like, where would you not normally see a vampire or something, and then that gives you a good. If you're going to go location, you go that route. Like, you know, or like what What would you a relationship you don't really think of a vampire having, or whatever you think of that gives you the opposite.
Because did we flip the restriction to the casino?
Did you what?
Did we do that? Yeah, I think we flipped our restrictions from all of us being vampires to we have to be in the casino.
Oh, so you're not vampires now?
Well, we can't, but like...
We didn't know if we were all vampires, whether we could play other characters that were not vampires.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, you could just also just be vampires, and then there could be side characters that come in that are non-vampires. But, I wouldn't see that as a restriction. I would see it as you putting yourself in a box of creativity.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fun to be had there. But the casino thing was random. I didn't understand it.
Yeah, we were flipping it. I don't know. We weren't set on it, I guess.
So go ahead, Save.
Matt, do we, for the play format, do we need to get a get from the audience, or can we already have like what we were doing established, which is the vampires at casino, and just start going? Like we introduce the troupe and then we just start going.
You can, you can start going. There's a few troupes that do that. A couple of really well-known ones that just go. The only issue is, what the get gives you is it gives you something that proves to the audience that you are improvising and you didn't sketch out an idea.
Right.
Because anything you've pre-planned, you should not say out loud. Like pre-planning is not okay in improv. So the only thing you pre-plan is like little, like you pre-plan the walls that are going to be around the scene, but you none of the plot lines, none of the moves, anything like that should not be pre-planned.
Right.
Yeah.
So by you getting something random from the audience, that's like, okay, there's a guarantee they didn't know they were going to say that because they have no idea I was going to say blue balloon, and now you got to deal with that. So, and if you're going to go casino, it'd be the same idea where like maybe you're playing a genre of like Ocean's 11 type thing, and then but then I would leave vampires out of it. So you gotta get clarity and think of it less, like simpler, and then from the simplicity, you'll be able to extract a lot of creativity from something. So why don't you just stick with vampires? Do you all feel comfortable with vampires?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So just do that and listen to vampire voice. Do your very best vampire voice. We should hear that you are a vampire. I mean, like you got to put some kind of a voice on there, and so it's establishing that. Because I'm like I don't get this at all with the way it was set. And then with the setting, if you decide to go setting, which you don't have to, by the way. So like if you plan that, don't plan it. It's just one of the moves that one of you might make for an intro to a show. So, but if you go setting, what you usually do with a setting is you just talk about very specific sounds, smells, like think the tactile feelings. What you could see, touch, feel, etc. So you don't necessarily need to set up the plot. You don't have to be like, and here's what's going on exactly. Instead it's like, this is the setting for the play. This is the setting for the moment. There's a it's a quiet lake, and there were 3 birds flying through the air, and off in the distance was a porch. An old man was sitting on the porch, swinging back and forth. Black. And then now I've just set up the setting. That's it. Nothing else other than there's an old man. Cool. Somebody plays an old man, but we don't know anything that's gonna happen. We get to figure that out.
Matt, when are we like cut or swiping scenes? Are we doing like multiple scenes in different places?
You certainly can. You would just swipe, or you say swipe, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good, Monica.
I've been practicing.
Feel free to, if your vampire gets angry, to.
And you may not get too much time to rehearse right now, but that's okay. Just trust. This is improv. And I told Brian this before class. And so are we live right now?
Yeah.
That's good.
We're live.
That's good. I told him this before class. Last night was a grind compared to the week before. The Wednesday class a week ago just had like a killer class where they were just on fire. Last night was a bit of a grind. But they grew more last night. So they may have enjoyed it less, truthfully. but they grew more as individuals and as improvisers. Like, they got better last night. So then it's what we try to do is we try to push you. Then let's see how much you've grown, and it's a lot of fun. And then it's like, we're going to push you. So tonight may be a grind for you. I don't know. We don't know how the show is going to go. Don't worry about the result. Just worry about, okay, let me see if I can find the form and fail hard, fail confidently, and, you know, just be a part of this team here. Okay?
Okay. And then we ask for a
Bro, you're
location
supposed to move us
that
out
you
of the
wouldn't normally see vampires.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait.
Sounds good to me. Just vampires, and then let's just go to the location.
But we gotta make sure that it's not somewhere that's gonna affect that we're vampires.
Well,
like-
yeah, that's why you're gonna see normally not see vampires.
We got to move to
a different one?
There's one left. Sometimes they say silence is good. And sometimes it feels like this. Why is there only one participant? Oh,
That's
because
us. We're in
everyone
the
else
main
is in
room.
a breakout room.
What's the room?
It's the
Breakout room 1, Connor?
room 1.
We got good time, dude.
Wait, no, didn't we? No,
I thought we got everybody.
That's right. We saw them. We saw Tyler.
Yeah, we saw all the groups because they were growing.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't give these guys any critique because they weren't. But they were going.
But they were going.
We got them going.
Oh, that's right. We said we were going to come back. So let's just go back and hide our video and just listen.
Okay, good idea. I hope I can do that. Let's hide our video and our audio.
No, turn on. Okay, that's fine.
See if we can join like that. Hopefully it works.
It will work. If there's a will, there's a way.
Why did it say the live restarted instead of pause?
Because you screwed something up terribly.
Guaranteed. But it's at least going.
I think you just stopped the live is what you did. And now you've started a new live.
That's annoying.
Well, it's frustrating for all of us.
Is that there's somewhere to go.
Yeah. Because rom-coms are like, not saying that we intentionally need to be stupid, but it's like the oblivious answers aren't oblivious to these people. They're like, like you guys were doing in the beginning, like, oh, like we're alone, like, I'm like, okay, we're alone.
Yeah, I was trying to play stupid.
And then McKenna, I thought that was good when you like popped up because that was like,
Yeah.
we're all alone. Like that was great.
I think go ahead.
We missed critiquing you guys. It sounds like you're having a really great conversation on the forum, though. So do you feel really confident?
We're
fairly confident. Yeah. Okay, good. So you got about 2-3 minutes. We'll just let you finish this conversation. We're gonna duck back to the main room. In about 2 or 3 minutes, you're just gonna get jolted into the main room with everyone else. You're gonna be cut off mid conversation, and then we're gonna break off and we're gonna send everyone to the live video, unless you're performing, and then we'll just perform for each other. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Thanks, guys. The other thing I was gonna say.
You always feel like you're cutting people off there.
That's because you are cutting people off.
I guess you are cutting
I want to do an entire podcast where we whisper.
That's a great idea.
I think that this would be a really good improv form.
I think people
go live.
We're going live. We're back to live now. It says connecting to YouTube. I'm assuming
it's probably already live. Welcome back, live audience. We are now going to bring everyone back, and then we're going to perform for you. Here we go. Go. We're almost out of time.
Boom.
Did you waste somebody's minute?
No. And it abruptly brings everyone back at once.
Everyone's coming back
at once. Do. I gotta take a picture of this so I don't forget.
Interruption. That's what we call it.
Missing.
All right, here we go. It's 9:20. Actually, 9:21. But it's let's just pretend it's 9:20. Each group is going to get approximately 8 minutes to do your show with a 2-minute wrap from Brian and I. That's going to put us at about a 10-minute Q&A at the end of class for us to just talk to each other, you know, catch up. All right, I'm gonna stop wasting time. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna send everyone to the waiting room.
Do we want to do that, or do we want to make it just go away?
Let's go to the waiting room.
Okay, great. Waiting room.
We're gonna send everyone to the waiting room. If your group is not up first, then go to the live video. So in order to alleviate pain points here, why don't we start with Astrid's group. Astrid's group will be first. So if you are not in Astrid's group, go to the live video.
Just gonna take a second. Because it's not in order and I can't see this.
And you can go ahead and just hide your video and audio while we're moving you out. That would make it things faster. And then
Sure
we can get that show started, and you should still move people to the waiting room.
And Matt, why don't you give a message to the audience while we do that? Because you're the one who's on the live right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Deering Acting Studio. For those of you who are waiting around while we were paused on our live.
No, we're live.
We were paused, though, for a minute, right?
Yeah, but then I unpaused. Oh, okay, I'm dumb.
You're contradicting me.
I'm dumb.
I didn't say that.
It wasn't that moment.
This is a little preview for something you have no idea that's coming, but it's going to be so good. All right, you ready?
No. That's really hard.
All right, this is a message from Deering Studio to the Zoom. You really have to figure this thing out. We need an option where we can send everyone to the waiting area at one time. It's not that hard. Just to give us a button that says send everybody to the waiting room.
Wouldn't that be nice?
And thank you, Zoom, for being what you are. Because without you, we'd be using a different
Well, now it's easier.
technology
now,
that would probably
oh my
work.
gosh, that's so smart.
Did you figure it out?
No, but at least everybody who's, because you had everybody mute their video and
Yeah.
audio, they're at the bottom now.
Ah, put them in the bottom.
So I can just quickly, much faster do it. As long as
And
this
by
group
faster,
does it.
you mean not faster. So
I mean faster.
Here's what we're going to do. While Brian's doing this, you're going to start your show. Brian, hide our audio and video.
Okay.
All right, your group is up. You'll go ahead and do your intro, explain your form, get your get. Your get's going to have to come from Brian and I. Audio.
Are we starting?
Audio, Brian.
Oh.
Yeah, so okay, sorry. So yes, you're gonna start. You're gonna do your intro. You'll get your get. You'll have to get it from Brian and I. So just treat us like your audience. Somebody's gonna intro the show, and then let the audience know what your.
Have their whole group be in there so I don't miss anybody. Someone's missing.
Oh.
Who's missing from your group, right? Astrid? Is that it? Astrid, Nick?
Well, I told them they were gonna start their show now.
Okay.
So that doesn't work. Then.
I came back.
All right, everyone's gonna get 7 minutes now for your show with a minute and a half
And
talk
you can thank
back
Zoom for that. Okay.
and a 6-minute wrap up.
All right. Good.
Yo.
Are we good? Are we good?
We're good.
All right, here we go. And your show
Jeez.
begins now. Explain what the show's gonna be, so we know what the twist is, and then ask us for a get, and then we'll give you your suggestion, whatever you ask us for.
All right, so we are the 3 guys and 2 girls, and we are looking for a themed restaurant that we are going to be in. So
Superhero themed? Superhero themed?
Well, any themed restaurant that you're going to give us. So
Superhero themed?
It does not have to be a superhero theme. No.
No, that's what my
Anyone.
suggestion was. Like a
Superhero theme is your suggestion.
Superhero themed restaurant.
I am so sorry, sir. I misunderstood you. All right. So we are the 3 guys and the 2 girls here to perform for you the superhero themed restaurant.
Well, I wonder when they're going to come meet me over here. Slow with COVID. We don't have a lot of crime going on.
Hey, Taylor. What are you doing?
Ashley, what are you doing here?
Just came to hang. I mean, not too much on my job agenda today. I'm trying to fight some crime, but I don't know what's going on. What do you have planned?
Well, I mean, because of COVID, I guess there's.
I'm
not a
gonna
whole
I'm gonna
lot
take
of,
this.
I guess there's not crime to fight.
I'm gonna take
So
this back and help you put this
just
scene
have
on its feet. Okay, so Tyler, since you were first in, you did a little bit of panicking. Instead, just space work and be and wait.
Okay.
Okay, then take your time with names because you just named her Astrid, which is her real name. and she's a boy, right? And look at her, and what type of energy is her character giving you? So both of you just slow down a little bit and let this thing develop, okay? You're in a superhero themed restaurant. That's all we know. You can just be putting on makeup or something, Tyler, and just wait. And then when somebody enters, connect, have patience, and get a really good base scene going that's not argumentative.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet. Oh my God, he is going to love me if I'm looking like this.
So you're talking again. You don't need to talk. You can just imagine somebody's already at the table, and you just be and wait. Have patience.
Okay.
Okay? Just have patience.
Hi, welcome to Tights and Flights. What can I get you to drink? How many in your party?
Well, there's supposed to be 4 more in my party, but right now it's just me. So I guess I'll just take a water.
Just a water? That's all you want? You don't want like something, that costs money, maybe?
No, I think it'll be good with a water.
Okay, I'm just saying you're a superhero and you're acting like you're broke, but okay, I'll be right back.
Do.
Oh my God, Victor, you got off early.
I've been busy. Very busy.
Doing what?
Fighting crime. What do you think? There's a lot of crime going on in my side of town.
I wish I could say the same. There's been no crime to fight for about 3 weeks now.
How are you solving that problem? Maybe you should come join me.
Well, if you got more room on that side, I'd be happy to.
You got any suggestions?
Well, I was thinking if I take all the bad people from my side of town and I put them on your side of the town, then we got more bad people to fight together. Plus, we can hang out a lot more together, Victor. I always like hanging out with you.
Cut to the table on the other side of the restaurant.
Ugh, place is so tacky.
Connor, you've been here so many times.
Yeah, because their burgers are delicious.
Ooh, which burger are you getting this time, though?
The triple double decker, 6 patties.
That's what you got last time.
Their burgers are delicious, may I repeat. Gosh.
Do you want to know what I'm getting?
Sure.
I'm going to get Batman turkey fries. Okay, hold on. Batman turkey fries and an orange soda.
Okay, I'm already having a bad day, and you know that. And you mentioned a DC character. You know how I feel about DC characters.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but can I take your order?
Triple double decker, please.
You always get that every time you come in. How about you, honey? What do you need?
I'm going to do... Sorry, ma'am. Can I have your name really quickly?
Nikki is my name.
Okay, thank you, Nikki. Nikki, I'm going to do... Let me see here. I think I'm going to try those Batman turkey fries that you have, that you're offering. Okay. And then to drink, I'm also going to do the orange soda. A large, please.
Batman turkey fries, triple double decker. Got it.
Cut back to the other table.
So, Victor, I think if we're fighting crime together, then that time we can spend hanging out, we can talk about us again.
I'll tell you, there's going to be a tip. So here's your slop. And I want you to think about that while you're eating it.
Thank you, Nikki.
Boy, Terry, I don't know about that guy. I'm still thinking about your little proposition there, Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Guys, it's getting a little hot around you. I think I gotta take this off.
It's making that proposition look a lot better.
So you wanted to talk to me about fighting crime?
That's my favorite subject.
Mm-hmm.
I like
So
sneak in and get it done fast and then fly away.
All right, scene. We're going to stop there. We're going to talk about this scene for about a minute and 20 seconds, and then we're going to move on. So very quickly, what did you guys think? What did your group think?
Would have been a little funnier.
Could have been funnier.
I had a question for you.
Uh-huh.
When you had them, switch tables, okay? So they were in the same restaurant. When she mentioned Batman, and she said she was going to order the Batman fries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I would have gone in on that scene as Batman and say, did I hear you say Batman fries?
Yeah, no, so that's you going to the crazy. So here's the deal. And I think the form was a little too hard for this group right now, and I'll tell you why. All you got to do is play normal. I mentioned that in the rehearsal. You got to just do your best guy and your best girl imitation, and that's it. That's really all you got to do. And then we weren't really talking about relationships. And then we got off on this whole thing because the idea, I don't think the audience even knew 100% what the twist was. That wasn't initiated in the intro. So then we're like, we don't know why whatever's going on is going on. And then the situation was supposed to be a superhero-themed restaurant, not the people at the restaurant were superheroes. So the one table understood that, the other table didn't understand that. And then Vicky, you called the waiter a guy, but really Nikki was supposed to be a girl waiter. So it just all comes back to better listening and
I messed up.
And understanding to just simplify, less, and really focus on your listening. So even in the other table scene when we were talking about the burgers and all that stuff, it was like the reason I would say it was too hard for you is because you haven't spent time working on a guy character. And as a guy, I'm like, I don't talk like that. Like that I didn't relate to it. And probably you were thinking the same thing about the girls. You're like, okay, like I don't relate to those girl characters. They don't feel believable to me. Whereas I always say, if you're gonna play like an accent, you're gonna play a culture of some kind. You should do it respect. So that's why it's something this would need to be developed a little bit. It's a good idea. I just think it would need to be developed, and then you'd have to have patience because we were talking about the burgers the whole time, and I would have loved to have heard you guys talking about what two guys talk about. And so, like Corinne and Astrid, really quick, when two guys sit down at a table for dinner, what do they say to each other? Really quick. Let's just hear what they say to each other to the top of your intelligence. You've never been two guys by themselves. Well, like let's just say you each have a boyfriend, and they sit down at a table, and neither of you are there. What do they say to each other?
What's up?
Nothing much. How was your day?
No, that's it. Actually, now you're done.
Oh,
yeah, that's about right.
Like that's two guys. Like two guys are gonna grab the menu and be like, "Yo, what up?" And then they're just gonna stare at the menu for a while, like probably, or they're gonna talk about sports or, whatever. But they're not gonna be like, "Oh, what are you getting?" "Oh, I'm gonna get all the burgers," and like, the guys just don't do that, right? So all you have to do is like top of your intelligence, play what you know, and then when you get to the end of what you know, it becomes very funny to us. Because we're like, oh, that's hilarious. Like they don't know how guys talk, etc. And then you go in that direction. So, so good. So that's those are your notes. Tonight is all about growth. I want everyone to understand that tonight's class is about growth. If you don't fail, I'm not doing my job right. So celebrate the fall right now. Learn from it. Grow from it. Go back and watch it back, and think to yourself, where did I misstep? How could I personally get better? How could our group have made different choices? Because it's not about being funny, but you didn't set yourselves up to be funny. And the reason is because we didn't believe the characters, we didn't believe the scenes, and we weren't on the same page. All right?
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, we're going to send you to the waiting room. We're going to bring in the next group.
We sure are. We'll see you guys in like an hour. Just kidding.
Why don't you? Can we bring in the? Can we bring in the next group? Or?
While this is happening?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, we could, but I'm already on the last person.
I'd love to bring in the other group.
I know, but I'm on the last person already. And which group do you want? I have 2 groups.
Bring in one of the other 2 groups.
I understand that, but do you have a preference, really?
No.
Not at all.
Just put in a group. I'm gonna.
I was stalling.
It's gonna get weird if you don't put a group.
I was stalling while I pulled up a group. Okay.
This is. I feel like it might be okay. Bring in Connor.
Yeah, Connor's coming in now.
I think Connor should come in.
Yeah, Elizabeth is also coming in. Would be a great idea.
Yeah, Connor's here.
And then
she seems very happy.
After that, I have to find Kylie.
Connor's
Okay.
Kylie's also.
Why are we whispering? What is going on? I don't know, but there's a wild dog.
It's okay.
Okay.
Looks like we got everybody.
Okay, here we go. Your group is up. We're gonna do about 6.5, 7 minutes for your show, and then we're gonna do a quick talk back afterward. We'll move on to the next show, so we have time here at the end of class to answer some questions. Is everybody in? Do you have your whole group?
Yeah.
I'm counting. It looks like 4 of you. Is that right?
There are 5 of us.
Are all 5 of you in?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna disappear our video, and you may begin your show.
Hello, everyone. We are the Breadsticks with an X, and we want to know the title of our play that doesn't exist. From the audience, please.
Hockey pancakes.
Hockey pancakes. Okay. And one last question from the audience. Where is a place that you definitely don't want to hook up with someone?
Garbage can.
And tell us what your form is.
Long form?
No, but like tell us what your twist is so we know.
It's a rom-com.
Okay, so you'd say something like, we're going to do an improvised play for tonight, and we have to make it a romantic comedy no matter what.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So you'd want to explain that to the audience so that they know coming in that you have certain restrictions, which makes your job harder, which makes it more enjoyable for them. So now they know that you have to somehow turn hockey pancakes and a garbage can into a romantic comedy, which is a challenge, and now we will give you more credit and the credit that you deserve.
Okay.
All right, very good. Woo! Start your show.
Hey, Rebecca, do you want a pancake?
Mom, why? Yeah.
I'm making pancakes. Do you want some?
Yeah, is today a special occasion? I mean, you usually make pancakes on like my birthday or Christmas or something.
No, it's just a beautiful day. Just wanted to make pancakes.
155.
Yeah, I'd love some.
940.
Great.
Are you sure you don't seem super thrilled about it?
No, I am. It's just this isn't really like you. It's something up.
No, I just think it's a great day to make pancakes.
Okay. Pancakes it is.
Also, do you mind if my boyfriend comes over?
That's what this is about.
Come on, you know you like Robert.
Robert's really nice, Mom. I'm really happy for the 2 of you.
Okay, great, because he's outside, so I'm just gonna go.
What?
I'll be right back.
Did I just hear Mom's bringing over her boyfriend again?
I mean, I'm happy for her. You know, it's been a while, so.
Something's off about him. Oh, there he is. I hope he's gone. You know, they just run around and it's weird. Like, they don't act their age when they're together.
I don't know. I mean, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi. Robert's here. Say hi to Robert.
Hi, Hi, Robert.
Hey, you kids, how you doing?
We're great.
Hi, we're doing good. Do you want some
You don't
pancakes?
seem great.
I'm actually cutting out on the good old pancakes. I've been meaning to play hockey lately, so you kids look bigger than I expected.
Oh, you're so kind, Robert. Thank you.
Mom, do you think me and Robert should have a guy talk?
Okay, well, don't take too long. I'll be making the pancake.
Oh.
Hey, you kid.
Samantha, Robert, like, I'm just confused about you, and I'm the only guy in this house, and I sort of have to protect my mom.
I understand your concern, but your mom makes some amazing pancakes.
Well, yeah, but that's not the only thing about her. She's not just good for pancakes.
I know that.
She just deserves someone who cares. Are you that person?
Of course, I care about your mother. She's the #1 important thing to me. And I've been meaning to tell you. I haven't told your mother yet, but I have a little boy.
You have a son.
Yeah, he's coming by in a few minutes.
How old is he?
He's approximately 7 to 8, maybe 10. I've lost track over the years.
Okay. Are you just gonna leave? That's what my dad did. And he left me. Oh. I'll get it. Let me say hi to him. Are you Robert's son?
Son? Robert's son? I'm Robert. What are you talking about? Your mom left her glasses at my restaurant in the dumpster?
Wait.
Yeah, I own Hockey Pancakes down the street. Your
Well, yeah,
mom's
I get why you guys are at the dumpster. That makes sense. But like, if you're not Robert's son,
Jess,
Samantha,
let's go. We're gonna be late for school. Come on.
Samantha, the guy that Mom introduced us to isn't Robert.
No, come on. We gotta go. We gotta go to school. We're gonna be late.
Samantha, something is wrong. Mom is in trouble.
Yeah, something's wrong. We're gonna be late. Let's go.
Help! Somebody, come help me.
What is going on? Okay. Kids, I need your names. What are your names? Listen.
I'm Samantha.
Samantha.
And this is my brother.
Okay. Samantha, your brother. Please don't tell
I don't
me.
trust you. How do I know you're actually Robert? Why should I tell you my
I
name?
have your mother's glasses.
So many people have those glasses.
Your mother has a birthmark underneath her thigh. You imposter! This is my garbage man. Robert, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Who are you?
All right, scene. We gotta stop there. Very good, team. Very good.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Oh, that was great.
I was laughing so hard at the end.
Elizabeth,
That was funny.
the mustache, the glasses, and the big eyes. Oh. Tomorrow there shall be a TikTok done by that character on your TikTok. It must happen.
Please. Oh
it has
my
to happen.
gosh. Please.
There's no choice. It's happening.
No choice.
No
I
choice.
promise.
Hilarious. So funny.
Thank you.
All right, good. So did we? How do we feel about it as a team?
Well, we never got to the romantic part, really. It was sort of just like.
It was the comedy of the rom-com.
No, you got there. You got there. It was a love story of sorts.
Yeah. I think it was more of like a family love story than an actual, because like I'm a super protective.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we missed was, and this has been happening a bit, is we don't know how to get out of a scene. So when she said, "Hey, I'm gonna go check on Robert," Kylie, you could have turned off yours too.
Yeah, I was about to say like, oh, it's time to go to school.
No, but you don't have to say that. Like, you literally don't even have to say it. Like,
go.
the scene could just end, and then a brand new scene, brand new characters in a different location could begin, and then you could tie them back together later. Like, that would be another, interesting twist of sorts.
You can also swipe yourself. Too.
Yeah.
I mean, just to make it really obvious.
Yeah.
Or
So
Dakota would do.
you could literally say, as a character, you could say, "Cut to Mom and George at the front door." So like things like that. Like you can be a little bit more authoritative with the direction you give because you have to via video.
All right.
Some of the names were okay, but I think again, getting more specific and more repeating of the names, that seems to be a weakness overall for our class. So that's something just to remember.
Yeah, so I forgot my name. That's why I sort of was like, why should I tell you? Because I just forgot what my name was.
Yeah, and the audience knows that. We're not stupid. So that's the problem is you have to understand, like, some of the audience will remember, some of them won't. But if we don't remember your name, that means we don't care about you.
Yeah.
And if you don't remember your own name, it means it's not memorable and you're a forgettable type character. So that's a thing where you want to be very, very observant about your own name and observant about, when you're naming somebody else, that it's a very specific gift-giving name, not just I'm panicking and I'm going to throw the first name out that comes to my mind.
Okay.
Then the only other game I felt like we missed would have been slow playing, because we could have just gotten out of the scene again. Like we just weren't good at ending scenes. So when she's like, what are you talking about? I'm George. Wait, you're George, but and then just end the scene. And then I would love to have seen like George come in and be like, George, what are you doing here, George? I'm dating their mother, George. I'm dating their mother, George. And we have a George off. That would have been
George.
Because we don't know, and that was the next storyline, the next game. We wanted to that's the thing as an audience. We wanted to play the game of the two guys and figure out how they were going to duke it out for the mom's love / pancakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, very good. We're going to bring in our last group, and then we're going to do a quick talk back at the end. Here we go.
Good job, guys.
Good job.
Woo, good job, everyone.
Isabel, Dakota. There, and I just got a kick. Oh, the rest are also there.
Are we missing one? Yeah,
Brian,
is your whole group in there?
Yeah.
Monica's there, yeah.
Dakota.
Monica's there? Okay, great.
Brian, you have to move me out.
And Kylie.
Where?
And McKenna.
You're all there.
Come on, Bri.
It looked like you weren't, but you were. Well, you can talk to the ones who are there.
Hi, everyone that's there, and those that are not there. Welcome to the Deering Acting Studio. We
it's creepy.
teach acting classes here at the studio, and
I can't remember who's who now.
we teach confidence building, and the classes are really fun and engaging. Okay, and everybody has a really good time.
I hate some.
When they're in there. Hate them. Okay, are you guys ready? Here we go. Here's your show. Your show is on. We're going to disappear our video. We're going to keep our audio on, but the only noise we'll make is laughter from here on out.
Yeah, it's just
Hello, guys. We are Roots and Company. And we are putting on a vampire play.
Oh, love vampires.
All right. Can we get a suggestion from the audience? A dark location. Anywhere dark.
Basement.
The basement. Thank you. We are Roots and Company, and we're putting on vampires in a basement.
Woo! Yeah.
It was a dark and stormy night. Count Darky and Fangs were in the basement having a very intense conversation.
Guys, I smell mold. I smell mold in the basement.
What are you talking about? There is no mold.
I can smell it. You don't smell that?
No.
I do not smell that.
I smell blood.
Sorry, I just ate. That is me. I know that one. That is me.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Very good, very good. So why have you called us under here dark, Count? Sorry.
Yes, why have you?
I wanted to show you a little game we're going to play.
What?
Is that okay?
Who said game?
I said game.
Yes! Little Ricky is here now, little scamp. Running around the house.
What game?
It's this game where it's kind of like hide and seek, but not really.
Interesting.
Sounds fun, right?
We hide, but we do not hide nor seek. We sit.
It's like hide and seek, but not hide and seek.
So we
Okay.
seek. What do we seek exactly?
Okay,
Is it the
okay.
mold?
I mean,
There
let me
might be
say it
mold.
again. You hide, and me and little Ricky go seek you. Yeah?
It is hide and seek.
No, not really. It's a little surprise at the end.
Oh, well, all you had to say was surprise at the end. I do not understand when you say game is not
Okay,
actually
it's like
it.
hide and seek.
Okay.
So you ready to play?
3, 2, 1, hide.
Turn around! Turn around! You cannot look if I am standing here. Turn around!
Okay,
Look around.
okay.
Silly Count.
We count to 10. Okay?
2, 3, 10.
Tap out, Monica. It has been 3 days, and I'm missing my whole family. They've not come out. I don't know where Count Darky is either. Looking for them somewhere.
This spot I've chosen to hide.
I found you.
What? Impossible! How did you find it? You cheated, obviously.
You were under the stairs. Did you seriously forget that I am a bat too?
I didn't forget, I just forgot how good you are.
Well, you lost.
I understand. Now I will find. Oof. Let us see what is behind this coffin.
Did you get found things?
Count Darky. I have found you.
No.
I haven't.
I'm not. You forget. Count Darky is in another room.
Yes. Yes, other basement.
Don't tell anyone I was here.
Of course.
All right, good. Scene. We'll stop there.
Jeez.
All right, how'd it feel, team?
Better than rehearsal, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Which, oddly enough, I'm tending to find a pattern in that.
So I thought we got off on a good foot to begin with, and then I think we had a hard time with knowing what to do next. Yeah.
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 So the first unusual thing was, Monica, your character was saying, I want to play a game like hide and seek, but not hide and seek. And they were like, how do we play? You hide, I seek. And then he says, that's just hide and seek. Laugh. Okay, now, you then backed off on that idea. That's the game now. So when you hear that big laugh, that's a good hint that you're onto something. So then you could now, how could you re-describe hide and seek a different way that is just hide and seek?
Okay.
So it's like, oh, no, that's not it. It's like, okay, imagine this. You find like a spot to like curl up, like I could not see you, okay? And then like what I would do is like, let's just pretend like, I don't know, maybe I turn around for a minute and I wait for a while until I don't know where you are. Then I go around and I look for you. That's what I'm saying. We'll play that game. And he's like, that's hide and seek. And then again, like, now you have to find a new way to describe it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then finally maybe at the end, either you give in or you say, forget about it. You know, like I'm done with you.
This is over.
Yeah. So so go either way. Like either you just get frustrated, give up, or you're like, fine. Truth is I just want to play hide and seek. Why didn't you say that? I love hide and seek. So then what's interesting is getting to the game hide and seek. Once you get there, the game's over and you got to find a new game. Right?
Yeah.
So the fact that you rushed out of it and it was because you made a mistake and then you were like, I made a mistake. I want to get out of the mistake. Instead of going, mistake is the win. That's the gold. And the fact that that Dakota picked up on it, that's a good move. That's a good listen there to bring attention to the weird. And now you're going, okay, that was weird. How do I lean into the weird? And that's how you play game. Does that sound very good for you?
It sounds very good to me.
Very good.
I also thought we missed it. I thought we missed a moment too. Also with the blood thing, that was another really funny move, Dakota. He's like, sure, or maybe it was Monica was like, I smell blood. He's like, oh, that's me. You could have gone even like, I burped. I'm sorry, you know. And then I was curious that the other vampires might be curious, like where did you eat, you know? And you're like, oh, it was a student, it was walking by. You didn't share, like, what are you doing, you know? Like, yeah, it was you wouldn't like him. It was some blonde kid with a backpack. He was fine. he was all positive, you know. It's just okay. Yeah, appetizer, right. So like sitting there and playing, like that becomes its own game, then you get to play that game. So you're just listening for little tiny things that become something interesting that we can sit on, and we don't need to move on to the next thing. We want to explore that and explore it and explore it. Okay?
And then also really quick, I also, that part just like the microphones, the way that they sniffed.
Oh, it was really good. Yeah, that was
like,
fun.
It was really patient. Like you could have even done that for a little longer, honestly, because of the way you were doing it. Like it just could have. It was like it was the, you know what? It was your example of like language that wasn't language, kind of. Like
yes.
It was kind of that version.
And actually, he's right. That's a whole nother game. If you just sit there, because as soon as it becomes awkward, it's like, okay, this is awkward. Now let's lean into the awkward. So now we're all like, right? And then someone's like, mold? Is it mold? And then we just wait for a while. Then what would be like mold? It's like
celery. Do you smell celery?
Yeah. Okay. Is it rotten milk? And you just keep trying to find things.
It smells like poop.
You could literally just sit there for like a while, and then we're like, okay, we move on to the next thing. But that becomes its own game. It becomes a group activity. But once you get out of it, then that's done, and now we have to find the next game. So just be careful not to rush yourself out of game. We want to sit on it for a while. Well done, you guys. Well
done. Well done, my fellow vampires.
Good job, you guys. That was really, really good.
Good
All right, we are bringing everyone back from live.
We bring everyone back from the live.
Please, or why don't we mute everybody, Bri?
I will mute everyone as
Oh
well.
no! I was trying so hard not to break while you guys were sniffing. You guys were like, and I'm like,
I'm now muted everyone. While Dakota was talking, he loves when I do that. It is Dakota's favorite thing.
All right, are we all back?
We are all back.
How come I can't see everyone on the screen? Oh, it just takes a minute to populate.
It takes a minute to get them into the screen.
I got it. All right, very good. So welcome back, everybody. If we have...
and Nick disappeared because Nick has to get up at 3, and so he's like...
We have negative 2 minutes to answer any questions. So I will take one question. If somebody has a question, you can raise your hand. Anybody? Off anything you saw from the other scenes, your own scenes, any questions you might have about improv from tonight. Anyone? Yes, Elizabeth, you win.
We're going to have to mute her.
Yay. Hello.
Yes, hello. It's very good to see you.
So it's just something that my group touched on. It was before we even got into doing ours, was kind of to expect the unexpected, but also we were scared that we were going to get like a really weird trope to go with. And we were like, no, if we make it specific with the question we ask, we won't get anything weird like a trash can or a toilet bowl. So we were trying to play it safe with the question that we asked. But then in that case, I think what I wanted to ask was, is it okay to play it safe if the dumpster was where they ended up living? Is that if we were to normalize that, would that be a safe route to play? Because I think
yeah. So I think that's actually that's the smarter move actually, is to open by saying, hello everyone, this is our troupe name, and we do an improvised play that's going to be a romantic comedy. What we'd like from you is a location where you would never normally see a romantic relationship taking place. Trash can, cool. So now it's like, it could be a scene between two rats. Would have been a very interesting, play to watch. And you know what? It reminds me of like
Ratatouille?
American Tail, like Ratatouille, or like Five Goes West.
I love Five.
Those, so it's like, okay, yeah, that's been done before. That's fun. It could be it could be two trash collectors, and they stop and the truck breaks down, and then they find true love, near the trash can. Could be two homeless people. It could be anything, But right. Then you're gonna go, okay, we're gonna put essentially what you're saying is we're putting this challenge on ourselves that we can turn anything into a romantic comedy. So you actually don't want something where a romantic comedy would normally take place, because then it's like that's the obvious, and we already know what the answer is gonna be.
Right. Okay.
And
I just wanted to make sure, because we were all about like making sure to play it safe, but I think it's even more of a challenge, and I like that of the trash can. It was like, okay, how do we
and that's how you get specific, where you say, okay, what's going to be our little twist here, and it's going to and then what you decide is you're like, okay, what can we ask an audience that's going to direct them very well to help them help us, because we don't want it to be easy. We just don't want them to say this came up last night, we don't want them to say Alaska.
Right.
Because that doesn't work very well for our form. I mean, I guess it would kind of work for that form, actually. Space would work. Like a lot of things would work for that. You could even get like the title of a play. You could have gotten the title. But if we think, what's the most famous romantic comedy?
I was going to Romeo and Juliet doesn't count.
Romeo and Juliet, yes, that's right. Romeo and Juliet's great. So you don't want them to say Romeo and Juliet. There's When Harry Met Sally. You don't want that, but you might want like Romeo and
Patrice,
Romeo and the Frog, and it's like, yeah, I want that title. Like, we'll take that one,
Okay.
So you want to direct your audience in such a way that they're gonna like give you something in the parameters that makes your form fit. Like, they're gonna help you create the walls that you have to stay within.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, but that answered it for me.
All right. Very good, everybody. All right, so that is our class. Brian's got some announcements to make, and then it's so crazy that vampire scene happened. It's like you put something out in the universe, and somehow people pick up on it.
Yep.
Brian and I are gonna. We just decided we were having fun while we were on the in between of groups, and we were just being idiots and having a great time.
It was awesome.
And we started whispering. We had the most fun. And so we are going to put on an improvised show right now. As soon as class ends, we're going to go live. So you're more than welcome to watch our show. It's going to be like 10 minutes. And our little situation is we have to whisper.
Everything's whispered.
And so our group name is going to be Hide and Seek. So you guys feel free to join us if you'd like, but we are for sure going to do that thing. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's going to be great. So then Brian has other announcements that don't involve our shenanigans.
I mean, one might involve shenanigans, but okay. So just a reminder, we have no class next week or the week after. So we'll be back in 3 weeks. Okay. We're going to miss you guys. So my encouragement to you would be go back, watch a bunch of these videos and learn from previous lessons. My mom's a great advocate for this. She's always watching our stuff. I love my mom. She's the best. Hi, Mom. But like literally before she was in the script class, she was watching all the script classes. She was watching them and learning from them. And so go back, watch your old videos, watch videos you weren't in, learn and use the time to just keep growing. And we'll be back in 3 weeks after that. And so, yeah, that's honestly the big announcement, is just to remind everybody that that's the case. And then we're going to do our show.
So which announcement involves shenanigans then?
Oh, I just wanted to go, there are no cats in America, because it said 5 goes west. So
all right, very good. So thank you all very much. That is our improv class for the night. Look out for a show. Going to start here in about 120 seconds.
All right.
From a brand new improv troupe.
Okay, there are no cats in America. All right.
There's a few cats in America.
I know, actually. They find that out at the end.
There's like 5-6 cats in America, I've heard. All right, let's just do it, bro. Let's just put up a link and let's just go.
Let's just put up a link and let's go. This